name's Sue Larkey. I'm a teacher of children with autism spectrum disorder. Today, I want to tell you about a fantastic new book called The Panicisaurus. Many of you know this book, The Red Beast, which helps children understand anger. The new book talks about anxiety, and this book is fantastic, not just for children with autism spectrum, but any child needs to understand anxiety. One of the questions I get asked the most by teachers and parents is, how do I explain to my other children why the child reacts that way, or why Johnny's gone under the table, and how come he's allowed under the table and I'm ignoring him, but if they go under the table, they might get in trouble. Well, this book really explains to other children why children with autism spectrum act the way they act and react, but also how to be supportive of those children and how to be a good friend and a good classmate to children on the autism spectrum. I actually think this book should be read to every child. My own daughter last night was in a play and I'd read her The Panicisaurus earlier in the week. She said when she went to get on the stage, the Panicisaurus tried to trick her and tell her that she was going to mix up her lines and that she was going to get confused and say the wrong things. But she knew from reading the book that she could laugh at the Panicisaurus and tell the Panicisaurus to go away. And she said, "Mummy, I did my breathing and the Panicisaurus disappeared." For me, the fact my own daughter, who's 8 years old, could share with me from this book how she used it made me just inspired that every child, no matter who they are, has moment of panic, and this is a great book. So I just want to share a couple of pages with you because the book, the words are beautiful, but so are the illustrations. Deep inside everyone's brain is a place called the amygdala. A little dinosaur called the Panicisaurus lives in the amygdala. The Panicisaurus used to be kept very busy in days when people lived in caves. He had the very important job of warning the caveman about danger. Perhaps the saber-toothed tiger was on the prowl, or a hairy mammoth was trying to push his way into the warm cave. Panicisaurus would help the caveman by getting his brain to tell his body to breathe faster so that his heart would beat more quickly and pump extra oxygen to the muscles in his legs and arms. This meant the caveman would be ready to run like the wind or fight for his life. These days, however, the Panicisaurus is frightfully bored. The story goes on to tell how today the Panicisaurus tends to make children scared of things that they shouldn't be scared of, and that the Panicisaurus is very clever. It's a fabulous story. And then it actually tells the story of a little girl with Asperger's and how she panics about sleeping, how she panics about her teacher being away, dogs, and a whole range of things that many children on the spectrum find fearful and they panic about. Here's a beautiful example of where her name is missing from the hook and it falls off. It's funny because a couple of weeks ago, a young boy with Asperger's that I've known for about 7 years, he told me that the reason that he had a meltdown when he was in year 1 is up till year 1 the teachers put the names on the hooks, and when he was in year 1 he'd chosen a hook for himself. Of course no one else knew that was his hook, and so when he went to hang up his bag, another child's bag was there and he had a huge meltdown and he actually threw all the bags and smashed a window and got in a lot of trouble. At the time he didn't understand why he was in trouble. But now, he's 7 years later, he could reflect on that and actually share why it happened. And I think so often this is why it's important to teach children about their anxiety and what to do. Because kids like Finn, who I was just telling you about, they do get overwhelmed and anxious. But if he could have calmed his Panicisaurus in that moment and had strategies. For teachers, there's some fantastic activities at the back of the book for the whole class. And for parents, there's some great activities for your child to teach them how to calm themselves. So honestly, guys, fantastic book to put in your classrooms, libraries, and parents to maybe pop in the Christmas stocking this year. Take care.